today. What we will be discussing is application security in an AI world. But like all the other podcasts, Dor, are you okay to just give the audience a little bit of an introduction to yourself, if that's okay?
Yes, of course. So first of all, thanks for having me here. I will tell you about myself a bit. So nice to meet you all. I am Dor Atias, 32 years old from Tel Aviv, Israel. Um, I am the Chief Product and Engineering Officer and one of the co-founders at Cycode. Cycode is a cybersecurity company that I will tell about it a bit after my intro. So about myself, I started my career when I was let's say 18 years old, when I had to go to the army. In the army, I joined to a unit called 81. The formal name of 81 is the tech unit of the intelligence corps of the IDF. I started with a 4 months course. I learned everything: C, C++, Python, assembly, networking, operation system, a lot of cool things. And then after 4 months, more or less, me and my friends started to build a system for another unit. I was responsible for the web interface of this complicated system. So I did like backend and frontend development. Back then, frontend was HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. React and Angular frameworks were not exist on that time. And backend, it was like Python, Django, SQL, and a lot of other stuff. It was cool because after 1 year, we made this system production ready, and a lot of customers, let's say, use that. After 1 year, I decided that I want to be an officer in the IDF. I went to an officer school. I came back after 7 months, and then I did a lot of stuff. I did I did a lot of stuff. It was like low-level development, high-level development. If it was to write like kernel drivers in Linux, writing Java applications, Android applications, customizing the Android operation system, a lot of cool stuff. I wasn't like an expertise in one field. I did a lot.
Yeah.
And then after 4 years and a half, more or less, I finished with my duty, and I decided not to continue and to go to the outside world, let's say. And then I thought about it, and I said, I don't want to go to cyber. I want to go to a startup company, a young startup company, to learn how to build startup, to field the customers. I didn't want to do the things I did in the army while I did the cyber project, because it was like, okay, do that, someone will take care of it, don't worry. I wanted to field the customer, to get feedback, to be on the field. So I decided to join to a company called Blazemeter. The company doesn't exist anymore, but the product does exist. Basically, what Blazemeter is doing is load testing tool that you can simulate a load on your website. You are saying you are configuring what are the flows, and then Blazemeter spin up a lot of virtual machines in the cloud in the regions you wanted to simulate the load, and gives you statistics. What are the APIs that are good, not good, there are latency, what you need to improve in order to be ready for the doomsday. For example, I don't know, you have Black Friday and you want to make sure that it will handle the load. So I was there like 1 year and a half. Then 1 year and a half, after 1 year and a half, CA Technologies acquired Blazemeter, and then I went to CA Technologies. In CA Technologies, it was interesting for me because if it Blazemeter, it was to have customers that buying a monthly subscription or annual subscription via credit card. In CA, it was selling to enterprises, big enterprises. JPMC, Wells Fargo, Cigna, Aetna, a lot of big companies that care a lot about security, privacy, compliance, a lot of stuff, cool stuff. So I learned how to communicate with enterprise customers, what they are looking for, what bothers them. So what I had to find there is a solution for them. What they cared about, they wanted to use Blazemeter. What did they care about is their data, their privacy. Now, they want to have on-premise solution. Blazemeter had like a big monolith. We didn't want to maintain on-premise solution. It's not so fun. On-premise solution, we can do 1 hour of episode just about on-premise and what are the challenges there. But basically, they wanted on-premise. We didn't want to, so I had to find like a win-win solution. I thought of an idea that was registered as a patent in the US. Basically, I call it private cloud. Private cloud is not an original name now. It's not a good name now, but back at the time, private cloud was a creative name. But the name of the project was private cloud. Basically, it means that you have like a small Docker in the on-prem, the customer's network, and every request to Blazemeter goes through this Docker, small Docker container that basically do obfuscations to the sensitive strings. In the network, you have the mapping between the sensitive strings to the SHA. For example, Nick is blah, blah, and Blazemeter sees only the blah, blah, and do all the magic there, statistics and all of the cool stuff. So I did that. I did that, and we sold to a lot of big enterprises. Then after 2 years, Broadcom acquired CA. I went to Broadcom, was promoted to R&D group manager. And in Broadcom, it was a different story, very cool story. Broadcom is focusing only on, I think, 1,000 customers, something like that. And they wanted to make the things more efficient. So they had a lot of testing tools. They wanted to merge all of them to one platform called Blazemeter. So what I did is to go to teams in Czech Republic and met them and showed them what is Blazemeter architecture, what you can do with microservice, what is releases, what is CI/CD, how to handle security vulnerabilities, because enterprise customers asking for it, a lot of cool stuff. Then after 1 year, if you go now to Blazemeter, you have a lot of buttons in the top menu. Every button is like a different product, but it looks the same, but it's different architecture and different product under the Blazemeter umbrella. Then after 5 years, I founded Cycode with Ronen and Lior. Lior was with me in the army on the same team, and so we founded the Cycode. Cycode now has something around 130 employees around the globe, Israel, United States, and Europe. Different percentage of employees, but all over the world. I am like I said, chief product engineer. I'm responsible for the product and engineering in Cycode.
Yeah.
We have a lot of enterprise customers, big ones. I took the experience I had with the security compliance, privacy issues they have, and the communication we need to have to them to the Cycode world, to the product, and build the things that I knew that enterprise will care about. You can see the big names we have as a customers in the website, very cool names. We are in a very good state, let's say, for this growth stage that we are. I'm very proud of what we built until now, and I'm sure Cycode will be now and will be even more a successful company. That's it, I think, about myself.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, brilliant. And I was just making some notes there down while she was speaking, Dora, and it just sounds like you constantly push yourself into an environment that is quite unknown, quite new, and quite sort of scary. Because I've got here that obviously you've come from this DevSecOps background, this secure by design background. You did security, but then you wanted to move more into software development. Obviously, when Docker and Kubernetes were coming about, you were at the forefront of that. You've worked in military environments, and then you've moved into enterprise environments. Now you're in a startup environment. You're constantly going, right, I've done that environment. I want to do chalk and cheese, and I want to do the complete opposite now. And you don't ever get yourself quite comfortable. My first question to that is, why? Why are you never comfortable? Why are you always looking for the next thing, Dor?
Yeah, so I think thank you for that, but I think this is something I got from the unit I was. When you are surrounded with the talent people and everyone is very good on their job and trying their best, you want to be even better. And I am all my life, to be honest, wanting to be number one on everything I do. And so I can't really rest. It's like I remember myself as a kid that I said to myself, I want to learn to this exam, and 80 grade is good. I will be happy with 80, and then I'm getting like 90, and I say, oh, why I didn't get 100? Why I didn't get like the grade? So it's always on my character to be better and to push myself to more. Sometimes it's not so good, by the way, because then you don't have you are not relaxed and you are happy with that you have. So
Yeah.
there are advantages for this character, and there are disadvantages for that. But I think it's I got it from the army, from the
Yeah.
unit, from my friends in the army. Everyone are talented, everyone trying to be the best,
Yeah.
everyone are very competitive, everyone are working so hard to make projects finished and bring value to the army and to our country. So it's a lot of pressure with friends, and I think that's why I have that
Nice.
character.
Yeah. Like a positive sort of competitive culture. I
Yeah,
like it. I like it. Final question, and we'll kind of get into the subtopic of this podcast. But obviously, I speak with a lot of vendors across the EMEA and the US, and I always love to hear the story of when the company actually gets founded, whether it's they were all sat in a pub or they bumped into an old friend in a coffee shop, just because these amazing products get born out of the most crazier places. You mentioned that Cycode got founded because it was a former team member of yours, obviously in the military. Was that always the plan, or did you just get back in touch? How did it come about?
yeah. So it's funny you're asking me because I just did an interview to a candidate and he asked me the same
All
question.
right.
Yeah, but me and Lior talked a lot about founding a startup together. To be honest, like a few years before we founded Cycode, we were on the coffee shop and we thought of building an application for gym. For yeah, so we thought about a lot of cool ideas, or maybe not cool on this stage. But the, me and Lior, we weren't like good friends and talking all day, but we were in touch. We met every few months, every few weeks, talking about what you are doing, what I'm doing, thinking about ideas, what our next steps, um, and that's we stayed in touch all of this time, like 10, like I think it was like we were together in the army like 2 years or 3 years, and then we stay in touch for 7 years. Or,
Yeah.
then we are 5 years together now. We have a cool picture of us when we were like 18, 19 years old. So it's funny to look back but basically why we founded Cycle, we understood back at the time, like 5 years ago. Now Cycle is an ASPM platform, but let's
Mm.
explain what is Cycle, and then I can say. So Cycle now it's a ASPM platform, application security posture management platform. Basically, what we are doing is to protect your code from code to cloud. We are scanning your code, your build tools, your Artifactory tools, and your cloud. And we have all our native scanners for every stage of the SDLC, meaning for AppSec program, you need SCA, you need SAST, you need secret scanning, you need ISC, you need content scanning, a lot of verticals of the AppSec program, and we have all as native scanners. So what we are doing, we are scanning with our native scanners every stage on our SDLC, bringing you the findings, and not only bringing you the findings, we are telling you the story of the finding from code to cloud. So for example, you have like an SCA vulnerability in your repository. We know to tell you, okay, this SCA finding is not so interesting because you see it's a test repo and it wasn't deployed to production. But this SCA finding was deployed in
Yeah.
production, is reachable, has exploitability score very high. So we tell you the story and give you a context of the findings. The
Nice.
legacy AppSec programs, AppSec tools that you have in the market today are giving you the findings, and they are very siloed, meaning you have a vulnerability in the SCA, you have a vulnerability in SaaS, you have a vulnerability in IC, but how this vulnerability is connected together, and what is the overall story of the vulnerability? What is the risk of this vulnerability? Maybe it's just a playground repository. Maybe it's just, it's not something that is reachable. Maybe it's something that you have a WAF that protects you from that. So you need to tell the whole story, and that's why we connect to each stage of the SDLC, scanning it on every stage, and bring you the whole story using our risk intelligence graph. So basically, you can query whatever you want on every stage, on multiple stages to bring in the story. But what we started, it's like your question, why we founded the company, is we identified like 5 years ago that there is a gap of security scanning and security visibility even on the SCM side. SCM is like source control management, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, a lot
Yeah.
of other examples. But basically, that's where your code is, your IP is, and that's where your developers are pushing code, and no one is taking care of it. No one is looking what is the configuration of this SCM. Maybe Nick as admin to the repository, and he's no longer an employee. Maybe Nick is pushing out all the secrets to the repository, and he shouldn't do it. Maybe Nick is now bypassed the pull request settings because he's an admin, and then he enabled back the settings so no one will see. But everything, all of these examples, putting your IP and your organization at risk. So we understood that we had to find a solution back at the time to give you visibility on your SCM tools, not on the code itself, but on the SCM systems. And one platform unified. If you have multiple SCMs, your problem is even bigger. For big enterprise, you can have multiple SCMs, you don't have visibility at all. So what we wanted is to have one platform unified for everything, to see the assets, to see everything there.
And you've hit the nail on the head with the last quote that you said there. You get everything unified in one place, and that seems to be it just. I'll take my answer back out and give it a helicopter overview. Like you're obviously going through the technicalities of the reasons why sort of this product is amazing, why it solves so many problems, and from my standpoint, like say, I've always sort of had to tackle with the cultural problem of okay, why does security obviously we know that security necessarily doesn't earn money directly, but sometimes a product can, and therefore that's why developers always get more of the budget, and then security is left it's a little bit like the ugly duckling, and they have to solve everything and fix everything right at the end, when it would have been so much easier to embed security in the secure by design methodology. However, we're talking about an ideology here that's been around for decades now, and yes, it might change, and I think it is slowly changing, but still, not every company and not every product out there adopts this methodology. Now, to tie it back into what we were sort of saying there, the way that this is just my 2 pence on this, but Wiz, for example, let's just use a very sort of obvious example. There's obviously a combination of reasons as to why they have massive success, but one of it is the simplicity of wrapping everything into one smooth, easy to easy to understand context, so that then links to the sales teams and to the marketing teams, where it's simple to get out and people understand it. Cool, I understand that solves all my problems. Let's fix it. And you hit the nail on the head at the end, where you're just like, okay, we're just trying to get everything into sync into this very nice package, and then it's good to go. That's the problem solved. Is that sort of the reason why you're sort of doing that, or have I gone down a different route there?
No, it's you don't want to travel as a customer between a lot of dashboards. You don't want to do. That's why we expanded our platform to be SPM. So what we're doing, we have like native scanners, and we also have an ability to integrate existing scanners to our platform. So you will use our platform for all of your apps and program, even if you're not using our native scanners, because you don't want to travel between multiple dashboards. You want one. Fast one, easy one, like I said. It's like today how young, even not young, maybe us, reading media and consuming content. Well, we don't want to read. We don't have patience. We want everything quick, easy now, with a story in front of my face. So it's also going in one way or another in the security space, because you want to bring the story to your customer immediately without him doing a lot of things, without him configuring a lot of things. And that's why Cycode is there as an ISP platform. Come use our native scanners. Come integrate with your existing scanner if that's what you want, but use one platform, unified, easy, modern platform, and fast platform to do your work. And don't use legacy platform that you need to work for them in order to get the value you are looking for. So I think it's like it's close to the reels videos we have now, and the fast content you want to see and just get it already, and you don't have patience to. So I agree with you. Unified platform, easy, good UX, modern UI, all of that is helping you to gain customers.
Absolutely, absolutely, and obviously that this is where we can kind of bring in, AI automation, because I'm sure that this is having both a positive and negative effect
Yeah,
on this line of
yeah.
work. So talk to me then in terms of, yeah, talk to me exactly on that. How does AI impact your product? Does it help or does it keep you up at night? What's going on?
So there is I talked about AI and how it affects the AppSec world in our book we published a few months ago, SPM book
Yeah,
of Cycode. So if you dear
I'll
audience,
put a
want
link
to
in. Yeah,
yeah, so SPM book is a lot of industry experts' opinions about the SPM and AI and stuff like that. So you can read. But about your question, Nick, um, AI is a big thing for AppSec. Why? For multiple reasons. One, more and more people are using AI to write their code, and it becomes cool. It becomes why I need to think if I can do it with AI. So this can cause a lot of security vulnerabilities or logic issues in your business logic in your code, because people are more and more relying on the code that ChatGPT or any other AI tool gives you, and not really fully understand what they are doing. And it can cause to a lot of issues in your business logic, in your security logic, or whatever. This is one point. People will become, it's like, again, the real things. People want to get everything now, very fast. People are becoming more lazy. So they are more relying on AI tools to build their code and to build their even CI/CD workflows and cloud objects, and it can cause a lot of security vulnerabilities from this aspect.
Hmm.
The other aspect is that you have now AI world that can be attacked. The AI agent itself can be attacked. Uh, you can use tools that can give you ways to answer your questions because someone did a malicious activity behind the scenes and taught the model on. So you can, I mean, the AI itself can be malicious.
yeah,
Um, so AI can affect AppSec in a way that we can't really imagine. And also one aspect is that, again, you're using more AI, you have more code, you have more things to protect. So
yeah,
it's like you can build applications more fast. You can deploy things more fast. So the AppSec is becoming more and more important on this process because you have to have like a gatekeeper for all the things you are doing, even if
mm,
you are using AI. So I think AI is a big um, advantage to AppSec, to
mm,
development, but
mm,
also a big point to think about when you think about your application security. Another thing is that when you have AI tools, developer not only wants to write their code using AI tools, they want to use AI tools in their code. So you need to protect the AI tools in the code itself because maybe the AI tools, like I said, there are they have vulnerabilities,
yeah,
or you can do a malicious activity on while using the AI tools. Maybe as a application security architect or engineer, you even don't know what are the AI tools that your developers are using because it's so easy to consume them.
yeah,
So you need an ASPM platform, an AppSec program that will identify your AI tools. Um, so that's also something we are doing
yeah,
today at Cycode. We are identifying the AI tools that the customer, your company is using, even without you knowing, because there are technologies developers are using this. It's so easy today with AI, and you need to know to protect that. Also,
yeah,
what we're doing in Cycode is well, it's obvious we are protecting the code if it's in AI generated or not, but also it's you ask what AI is doing to the AppSec, so it's also giving you the ability to remediate findings in
yeah,
much faster way. So what we did in our platform is to give you the ability uh, to fix the vulnerabilities we are showing you, the findings we're showing you using AI. And by the way, just something important for the ones that are curious to know about this feature specifically, we are not using ChatGPT. We are using our own model in our own network because privacy is a thing. We don't want to take your code to ChatGPT or any other AI tool out of the cloud, and ask AI tools about your code. It's your privacy, it's your IP. So we are using our own model. So I hope it answers your question about how.
Absolutely, and yeah, and it is very much like Inception, when it's just like we're AI, we're kind of using AI, but we're also fighting against AI, and it very much is
Yeah,
this Inception, this paradox. It's very very confusing, but I just about keep with you, Dor.
yeah,
Now, again, I want to just pick up on the last thing that you said there about the importance of using sort of your own model and not this open source model where obviously you're bringing in people's data. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about data security in application security in an AI world, because like you say, there's lots of data involved now, lots of sensitive data that can't just be put into an open source model because, like you say, AI, and then you start throwing in generative AI where it starts to learn because we've taught it how to learn. And if we're putting in data that we shouldn't be putting in, then it's pretty much
yeah.
it's out there then, and we're a little bit screwed. So I just wanted to sort of ask you, Dora, in the sense of, is there any sort of specific ways in which we can remain as compliant as possible on the data security front as we start to, well, the public in itself are starting to use more and more AI toolings? Is there any sort of tips you can sort of give the audience to kind of make sure that we remain sort of data secure and compliant moving forward?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing for security engineers is for CISOs is, first of all, is visibility.
Yeah,
Even before you're doing prioritization or remediation to your vulnerabilities, if it's application security, cloud security, or data security, you need to have visibility on your tools. And that's why you need to find a platform or even in-house solution, whatever, that will give you an inventory of the technologies you are using. And then once you have the attack surface, you can think about the attack vectors. But first, you will need to understand the inventory, the technologies. So find a tool. And again, Cycode is one of these tools that you can use to give you the inventory of the technologies you are using. And giving you the technologies is not, okay, please integrate the technologies into our platform so we can let you know you're using them. Ask the vendors you're using if they can give you shadow DevOps tools or AI tools without them um, asking you to integrate with these tools to let you know you're using it. So that's why Cycode gives you as an SPM platform. Part of it, a very small portion of this platform, of Cycode platform, is to give you the inventory that I just talked about.
nice, nice, fantastic. We've pretty much come to our time already, Dora. So I've got one final question for you. And at this moment in time, I'm sort of finishing with the same question on most of the podcasts. And because I partner with, like you say, early stage vendors, I always like to basically give them the hypothetical option. Before you set up Cycode a few years ago, if you could go back in time and sort of just tap yourself on the shoulder and say, like, look, here's just one piece of advice, take it at your peril. What would you sort of say to yourself now that you know in hindsight?
um, don't get things so personal.
Okay,
That's
yeah. Keep
that's
business
what I would.
business and
Yeah.
personal personal.
Take it not. Don't take it as personal. If it's from customers, if it's from your employees,
Yes.
uh, you don't know the whole story when someone is telling you his thoughts or feelings, and don't take it personal.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I always find that it is always very sort of similar in terms of it's just more of a soft skill rather than like, oh, make sure you get your operations and your data sorted and then move into
No,
finance.
I didn't want to say that because it's. I wanted to think about something more.
Yeah, something more real. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, yeah.
Dora, thank you very much for coming on to the Security Face podcast.
Thank you
If
for having
anybody
me.
has any questions whatsoever for Dora, or just simply check out the Cycode product, I'll be sure to put a link in below. I shall also reference the book that Dora mentioned earlier on in the podcast. There will also be a link for that down below. But once again, Dora, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Nick. Bye bye.